What up, YouTube? This is the Verbal Architect with Mixing Tips 101 for beginners. Today we are going to be talking about bussing effects, bussing reverbs, EQs, all kinds of stuff like that. Bussing effects is a lot better than using separate effects on each track, just because when you're bussing that effect, you're only using one instance of that effect. So say you load a reverb and you bus it to 10 other tracks, you're still using that one reverb that you loaded instead of loading a separate reverb on every track. So today I'm going to show you just some basics on how to bus a stereo track with a reverb, a stereo reverb, and then I'm going to be doing a mono effect bus, probably a chorus modulation. So let's turn around the screen here and I'll show you how we get that set up. Alrighty, so I'm going to go into my mix window. That's the first thing you're going to want to do. Scroll down to the end of my list here. I like to put all my auxes on the end. Click on the last aux I have. Control-Shift-N to create a new track. And then I'm going to go to create one stereo aux input. And then create. So I just created this 6th aux track on the end right here, and the effect I'm going to use is a reverb. So I'm going to go into reverb, multi-channel, because it's going to be a stereo track. Go into reverb, and I'm going to select the D-verb, stereo, because it's a stereo track. Or reverb is a stereo effect, sorry. Go over the factory default. I'm just going to select a quick vocal plate, and now we got the effect on the channel. I usually go through and I label my aux effects. You would label this one reverb. So we're going to go up to input now. It's right here, right above the output. Go to input, select bus, and we're going to go over to I have one set for reverb, but we'll go to bus 3 and 4. Since it's stereo, it's going to use 2 tracks, so we're going to do bus 3 and 4. Alright, now we have the reverb. Actually, I'm going to set that to a different bus. I'm going to bus that to 5 and 6 because something was already using 3 and 4. So we're going to bus it to 5 and 6. And now we got our reverb going through aux channel 6. So now whichever track you want to put that reverb on, say we want to go put it at the beginning, and we want to put it on this track right here. We're going to go to click on this. Actually, we'll put it on the track down here. Let's put it on this track, because I already have a reverb loaded on this track for this mix, but I'm just loading another one just so I can show you how it's done. Now we go to, so for undersends, we're going to go to bus, and then we're going to go up to where we have 5 and 6, and that's what we bussed the reverb to. So click on that, 5 and 6. Now it's going to bring up a separate window where we can raise how much reverb we bring onto that track. So as much as you bring this level up here, you're going to bring more and more reverb onto that channel from the aux channel that you put the reverb onto. Alright, so then you can control separately how much reverb you want on each track, just coming from that one D-verb that we loaded onto the aux track. So now I'm going to show you just how to load mono effect. So right now I already going to go to Control-Shift-N, just load a new track, and then go to mono, like we have it now, and then to aux input, create. And then now we have a 7th aux track down here created. And I'm going to go up, and the effect I'm going to create in here is a chorus modulation. So we'll go to Air Multi-Chorus. I like that one a lot. So we click on that one, and it brings open the interface for the chorus modulation. We'll just open a default slow chorus, close it up, and now we're going to go over to the buses like we did before. And we're going to put this one, since it's just a mono track, we only have to select one, not 3 and 4 like we did before with the reverb. We're just going to select one bus. So we'll do the chorus modulation on bus 7. So we'll select that one. Now we have the chorus modulation going through bus 7. Now whichever tracks you want that chorus modulation on, you're going to select sends like we did before, go down to bus, and we're going to go to bus 7. And bus 7 is where we just put that chorus modulation coming down auxiliary track 7. So we're going to select that. Now it's going to bring up the same kind of thing it did for the reverb, and this controls how much you bring that effect into your mix on that track. So that is some basics on busing. Busing is very important. When I first started mixing, I didn't know how to use buses, so I was really slowing down my programs, my mixing programs, by loading the same effect on each track over and over and over. That's just going to slow you down. It's going to gunk up your program. So really learn how to use your buses. You can actually go into setup up at the top, go to, I think it's, yep, I/O, and we're going to go to bus. And now you can go through and label. This makes it really easy on you later. I have this one labeled reverb, and all of my mono ones I have labeled. I have a compression one labeled, a chorus modulation one labeled, verse EQ, ad-lib EQ, and then I haven't labeled any below that. So reverb is one of the only ones I use as stereo effect, so I have that running down 2 channels left and right. But then you can go through and label all these, and that makes it a whole lot easier, because then when you go through and you select the bus like we were doing before, it'll just come up as compression, the reverb channel. So that's how I labeled it in the I/O setup. You can set it up so it's a lot easier for you. Your sessions will go a lot faster that way. So thanks for tuning in. This is the Verbal Architect signing out with Mixing Tips 101, VA Productions, Underground Visionaries. Check us out at undergroundvisionaries.com. This has been a lesson in simple busing techniques. Thank you. Bye.